Good day, everyone. So this is Alvin again from the Philippines. So today we are going to talk about my top 10 for Miss Universe 2019. This is going to be my first leaderboard. So as of this time, we have, Miss Universe organization already have less than 15 confirmed candidates for Miss Universe 2019. So I know this is just about 1/8 or 1/9 of the total and expected contestants that we're still waiting to see, but still it's already exciting because we already have a lot of strong contenders selected so far. And I know some of you might say that this is too early for a leaderboard, but is there really such a thing as early in pageants? Because pageant is a cycle, so it's never ending. Before I begin, I have included countries who have crowned a representative but has not confirmed whether they are going to send their winners to Miss World or Miss Universe, since Miss World already confirmed that their pageant date will be on December 8th. Miss Universe has not released any information yet on when will they hold the pageant, because the thing here is there are some countries who are sending their winners to both pageants. So it only means that these countries like Belgium and France will be included in my choices in selecting my top 10 for this first leaderboard. So we'll start. My number 10 as of the moment is Belgium's entry, Elena Castro Suarez. She's got a Belgian and Spanish roots, and based on what I have said earlier, there is no official confirmation yet whether Belgium will go to Miss Universe or Miss World, but most likely she'll go to both pageants if Miss Universe and Miss World will be held in two very far and separate dates. Because based on what I have seen, if I have to choose itself based on the quality of Belgium, I'm actually not... she's gorgeous. However, I'm just not a fan of her beauty. It's not my cup of tea. And she could easily be forgettable once more contestants joins in or being crowned and confirmed. So I'm not throwing her under the bus because, of course, there's still time for training and everything. But as of the moment, Belgium is my number 10. But will she get a placement? If she goes to Miss Universe, I don't see her getting a placement. If she goes to Miss World, well, that is really very difficult to predict because it depends on Julia's choices. But for Miss Universe, I think the chances are very low. So I prefer that she'll go to Miss World, and probably they'll just send someone else to Miss Universe. But that's just my opinion, because if she trains very well for Miss Universe, then good for her. My number 9 is China's candidate, which is Rosie Zhu Xin. She's 25 years old and she's a model, and she also stands 5'9", which is actually very tall. And she is one of the finalists of Miss World China 2017 and Miss Intercontinental China 2018. Well, most likely she didn't win. And for China, I think she's got a potential. She looked okay. There are some moments, though, where she actually looked beautiful. She speaks very well based on the interviews that I have watched, although I do not understand what she's talking about. But basing on the delivery itself, she is actually very good when it comes to delivering her message, whatever it is. We have only selected few contestants so far, but based on the selected candidates, there's already a lot of strong ones in this selected list. So China is okay, still transformable, got the potential. Will she place? Well, it still depends on how she goes and trains and how she works hard as well for this pageant. My number 8 is Poland's Milena Sadowska. I love her beauty. She looks very beautiful. And last year, Poland also surprised us with their placement. Milena is 20 years old, and same as Belgium, she could potentially represent her country in Miss World and Miss Universe, again, depending on the date of Miss Universe. She is a journalism and communication student, which I suppose she's good when it comes to speaking. I like her face. She's very beautiful. And knowing the quality of European contenders every year, I think she's got a chance. But if other European countries will be sending strong candidates, I think Poland could be a hit or miss this year. So it's difficult to say as of the moment based on the regional assessment. Based on the continental assessment, since she's the first selected candidate from Europe as of this time. Number 7 for me is Malaysia's Shweta Sekhon. I love this girl very much. Even during the national pageant, she's 21 years old, and I'm just so happy because finally Malaysia made a great choice and possibly a strong contender from their country since Deborah Henry. Deborah Henry, though she didn't place, I still considered her as one of the strongest, if not the strongest, Malaysian representative sent to Miss Universe. We all know that she delivered very well. It just so happened that that year, the judges preferred other ladies compared to her. But that's nothing to be ashamed of because Deborah Henry waved the Malaysian flag proudly all over the world. And she just made every Malaysian very proud regardless of the result. And this year, Shweta Sekhon could do the same thing. And I really hope that since this woman got a lot of potentials to do really well, so I really hope that they are studying how IMG works and try to figure out on how could they transform, train, and prepare Shweta in order for her to fit into something that IMG needs. And if they could do that and pull it off, they could potentially, and she herself could potentially break the very long drought of Malaysia in Miss Universe pageant. And if she does, I will be the first one to cheer for her. Number 6 as of the moment is France's entry, which is Vaimalama Chaves. The same as Belgium and Poland, she could also be representing her country in both pageants, Miss World and Miss Universe. She's 24 years old. She's got a very beautiful face and great personality on stage. This is one thing that I like about Miss France pageant because they usually got a lot of rounds exposing the delegates, which means more exposure for the candidates of Miss France. And the juries got a lot of, they got a wider range of seeing more of the contestants so they could see who's consistent and who's not. So the judging is very intricate. Aside from that, usually Miss France winners are very, very smart. They are not sending a winner who are not good in speaking or expressing herself. The same, I'm actually partnering France and South Africa when it comes to national pageants because these two pageants are very intricate when it comes to selecting their candidate. Most of the candidates, if not all, most of the candidates that they're sending are very smart, very well spoken. So when it comes to interview alone, I actually have no doubt about the entry of France and even South Africa because it's what they have said. Interviews are really their asset in pageants. My number 5 is the candidate of Sierra Leone, Esther Bangura. She's 22 years old, and I know For all of us who are following pageants, and especially Miss Universe, she's already a familiar face because she is supposed to compete last year's Miss Universe. However, she didn't because she failed to register due to late arrival in Thailand. And this happened because due to her nation's condition, because it was devastated by war, she traveled from Sierra Leone via Ghana to Nigeria. So if you look at the map, that's about more than 1,800 miles. So just to apply for a visa in the Royal Thai Embassy. And because of that long travel, and of course looking for sponsors as well to fund her as she traveled, she arrived 6 days after the registration, and unfortunately she failed to compete that year. However, she attended as a member of the audience, and based on the interviews that we have seen, she's actually very happy even though she didn't compete because she's got a chance to see how everything goes in the Miss Universe pageant. So I actually considered it as an advantage for her, and her story alone, she knows in herself that she's going to be late when it comes to arrival, but she still worked very hard, find sponsors. I also have to applaud the team behind her because they are working very hard, sponsoring and helping her and supporting her. So this story alone is something that is going to be a big hit this Miss Universe 2019. And she already seen most of the things and how things go in the Miss Universe pageant, so she already got an idea on what she'll do. So I am hoping that this will work on her advantage. And aside from that, she's got a great personality. She's also amazing in interviews, and she looked really beautiful, especially in motion. So I'm very, very happy for Sierra Leone this year, and I really hope she will be rewarded with at least a placement this year. If she could go far, then good for her. Number 4 is Colombia's Gabriela Tafur. She's 24 years old. Again, another strong representative from Colombia. Very, very beautiful. Very, very smart. And here's the thing. She studied law and is now working as a lawyer at the legal area of Microsoft Colombia. I'm actually very impressed with most of the lawyers competing in Miss Universe pageant because they're very smart, they speak very well, and with Colombia's credibility in the pageant, so this is going to be an easy breezy flow for Gabriela entering as far as top 3 again, or even winning this year. And based on what we have seen about her, Colombia is definitely coming very, very strong this year, especially after last year's non-placement. So congratulations, Colombia, another great selection. My number 3 is Brazil's Julia Horta. I am in love with the way she looks. Very beautiful, and it's a face that you can just stare the entire day. I mean, very, very beautiful, very charismatic, very angelic, and just pure perfection when it comes to beauty alone. She's 24 years old. She's a journalist and a model. Aside from that, here's an amazing thing. She competed in 5 pageants and she finished top 5 in all pageants. Miss Brazil World 2015, 4th runner-up. Reinado Internacional del Café, 1st runner-up. Miss Brazil World 2017, 2nd runner-up. Miss Tourism International 2017, 4th runner-up. And now Miss Brazil 2019 winner. So these are good records for her, which means she's really good. And aside from that, I also do not understand Portuguese, but based on how she delivers her answer during the national pageant, I think she's very good. She's very smart. She do not pause. She just speaks continuously, expresses herself very well. So I really believe that she's going to be another front runner for this edition and someone that we must watch out as well. And let's not forget that since from the time IMG took over the Miss Universe pageant, Brazil successfully placed all the time, which means IMG loves Brazilian delegate so much. So Brazil is my number 3 as of the moment. My number 2 is Indonesia's Frederika Alexis Cull. She's 19 years old, and what I love about her is that she speaks English very well. She's also one of my favorites during the Putri Indonesia 2019 pageant. And based on her profile that I have seen online, she is an Indonesian national rugby athlete where she got 5 medals and 3 of them are gold. I mean, wow, that's very impressive. Aside from that, she's also an actress and a model. And Frederika Alexis Cull is from a British-born Australian father and an Indonesian mother. So I believe this is the reason why she speaks English very well, because of her father's side's influence, which I think is an advantage. And since 2010, this is what I meant about having a profile that you have already done a long time ago and not a profile that you just did today. Because Frederika Alexis Cull, since 2010, so that was almost a decade ago, she built her own NGO called Sekolah Bisa and Cyber Shanti, which provides education to underprivileged children, which is actually very, very good, which means she's been working for this organization for almost a decade already. So she will not use this just for the sake of the pageant only, because she's done this a long time ago. So this is going to be a very strong profile for her. And actually, she's got one of the strongest profile among all. I mean, she's got one of the strongest profile among the Miss Universe candidates selected so far. And aside from that, she's superb and very smart during the national pageant. And I actually was shocked that she won, because although she was one of my favorites, I didn't put her on top. I did not place her on top because I haven't seen much of her. But after the pageant, where I have seen most of her, the way she speaks, the way she introduced herself, I mean, she actually surprised me because she was amazing. She was confident, something that I really did not expect that much from her. And what I really love about her is her finale speech during the pageant, where she tackles the issue in hate speech. And one of the most powerful lines that I really love that she also mentioned is, hate speech is not freedom of speech. Hate speech expresses violence and abuse. It was actually a very long speech, but I think that statement itself is very timely, very smart, and very relatable, and at the same time, a really strong message to send out to the people and to the generation today who are abusing social media and using it to bully and abuse people. And I really love her message during that night. And after watching that, I really felt confident that this representative of Indonesia, Frederika Alexis Cull, could potentially give Indonesia its highest placement in Miss Universe. I am positive that she could crack the first cut. However, I am confident that she could go even farther. And I really hope that I am right, because we have seen how Indonesia worked hard in Miss Universe, and I think this year is the right time for them to be given a much higher placement in the pageant, because Frederika Alexis Cull is a very, very strong contender this year. One of the strongest profile in the pageants as well. So congratulations, Indonesia, number 2 as of the moment. And my number 1 for my first leaderboard in Miss Universe 2019 is Vietnam's Thuy. She's 27 years old. She's also the first runner-up of He Hen Ye. in 2017, I think. Or let's just forget the year. But she's the first runner-up of Henie in the Miss Vietnam pageant. So I am just very, very happy because the Miss Universe Vietnam organization did not waste her and ignored her and reserved her for this edition, because this woman surely deserves to represent her country in the Miss Universe pageant. She's a Vietnamese supermodel, which is not shocking to us because just by looking at her, you can just definitely say that's a supermodel. She is the winner of Vietnam's Next Top Model Cycle 2. And aside from that, she worked as a model both domestically and internationally. She also won 10 million Vietnamese dollars in Futurista Miss Universe voting online. But guess what? She gave all the money to children with disabilities and charities. And I think that is something very inspiring and a great story to tell as well. And one reason that I loved her, because she reminds me of Henie in some way when it comes to the stories and personal background, because even Hoang Thuy, she comes from a poor family and she used to sell rice cakes on coach buses to assist her family. So I'm truly impressed with the Miss Universe Vietnam organization, because Henie and now Hoang Thuy, they are not just sending quality contenders, but they are sending representatives that turned everything around. They come from a poor family. They worked really, really hard and they have transformed their lives. And now they are here representing their country in Miss Universe. And they're not just, it's making me very emotional because I'm really loving their stories very much. They are here competing in Miss Universe, and they are not just here just to compete and show their beauty, but they are here to inspire young girls, young women around the world, and even boys as well, that as long as you work hard for yourself, for your family, you can turn everything around. You can be successful. And I am really, really impressed with the choices of the Miss Vietnam organization sending representatives to Miss Universe. I really have to applaud the team very much because you are really doing a great, great job. And you were rewarded with a top 5 placement by Henie last year. And I really hope the same thing will happen this year. If you could win Miss Universe this year, then there's really no problem at all. I know it is too early to say, but Vietnam is such an inspiring candidate, and I am really, really excited to see her compete this year. And I really hope they are serving as an inspiration to many countries as well, sending representatives to Miss Universe to not only send candidates who are just beautiful, because beauty alone will not save you or give you a placement. With IMG, this is what I love about IMG. This is not just a battle of physical beauty. This is a battle of beauty, brains, and a story that is inspiring for everyone. And that's what I really love about the new and transformed era of Miss Universe organization. So thank you very much for spending time with me. This is my current top 10, my first leaderboard from Miss Universe 2019 pageant. So if you stayed this long, so I thank you very, very much. And have a wonderful day again from the Philippines. So see you on my next leaderboard, probably a month after this. But don't forget to like the video, leave your comments below as well. And don't forget to subscribe. And tomorrow, Cambodia is going to crown their Miss Universe representative as well. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day, everyone.